Rotating the Earth at about 400 kilometers from the surface is the International Space Station. The modular space station is a multinational project and is the single largest structure humans have ever put into space. It is a giant space science lab whose main construction was completed between 1998 and 2011 and has been uninterruptedly occupied by scientists since November 2000. NASA has now announced plans to retire the International Space Station in late 2030 and close its operations by 2031. The ISS will fall out of orbit and plunge into the waters of the South Pacific Ocean. NASA has published a transition plan for the ISS in which it explains how operations of the artificial satellite will be eventually transitioned to commercial low Earth orbit destinations. The ISS has been orbiting the Earth for 2 decades now, with an international crew of astronauts and co-astronauts on board who have been conducting groundbreaking scientific investigations which opened up new avenues for deep space exploration. The ISS is a cooperative program between Europe, the United States, Russia, Canada, and Japan. The ISS can be controlled from mission control centers in Houston or Moscow. Other international mission control centers support the space stations from Japan, Canada, and Europe. As of April 2021, 244 individuals from 19 countries have visited the International Space Station. It circles the globe every 90 minutes at a speed of about 28,000 kilometers per hour. This means astronauts aboard the ISS could see 16 sunrises and sunsets every day. The ISS includes modules and connecting nodes that contain living quarters and laboratories, as well as exterior truces that provide structural support, and solar panels that provide power. The space station is brighter than Venus and appears as a bright moving light across the night sky. It can be seen from Earth without the use of a telescope by night sky observers who know when and where to look. The International Space Station was initially the idea of former US President Ronald Reagan, who proposed the construction of a permanently inhabited spacecraft in cooperation with a few other countries in 1984. In 1998, the first piece of the space station, a control module, was launched into space on board a Russian rocket. Over the next 2 years, the space station was built piece by piece until it was ready to carry crew on board. 7 astronauts can live and work on the ISS. The crew not only conduct scientific experiments during their stay on ISS, but also maintain the station. Sometimes this requires them to venture out of the ISS on spacewalks to perform repairs. The ISS was meant to be operated for only 15 years, but in 2014, NASA extended its tenure by another 10 years. The ISS has served as a microgravity and space environment research laboratory in which research is conducted in astrobiology, astronomy, meteorology, physics, and other fields. Yet, the final decade of ISS's existence is set to be the most productive, in which the spacecraft will also be employed as an analog for a Mars transit mission. Once ISS retires, it will be replaced by one or more commercially owned and operated space stations. NASA has been exploring ways to get the private sector more involved in space exploration for a long time and has now signed agreements with 3 private companies to launch commercial space stations for use by both private companies and government astronauts. A Federal report.